Tonight I'd like to pay tribute to a man who's meant so much to so many people. Not only a loving husband and father, but also a man who has won not one, but two medals during the Vietnam War. He's gained the respect of many people for his bravery before and after the war, and during trying times and hardships, all with his enormous kind heart. It's hard to imagine a man that has seen so much death and violence being a loving and gentle, kind person towards other people. My father, Vietnam vet, Sergeant Ronald Harold Collins. The first part of his life was full of hardship and loss. He was born the middle son of Ronald Harold Collins and Georgia Josephine Renfro. Times were hard and money was scarce. At the young age of 18, Ron's older brother, Kenneth, was killed in a hunting accident. This tragedy was the catalyst that destroyed the Collins family. Soon after losing his oldest son, Harold left for Indiana to find work in California and was never heard from again. Georgia suffered a nervous breakdown, and the state put Ron at the age of 13 and his younger brother Randy, aged 5, in foster care. Ron wouldn't see his brother again for another 35 years. After suffering neglect and abuse from his foster parents, Ron decided to live on his own. He lived in a tent by a lake for a year until some vandals threw the tent and his heater into the lake. After that, believe it or not, he lived in a local cemetery in a crypt. Ron fell in love and became engaged to a young lady in his class. Shortly after graduation, it was horrible. She was killed in a tragic accident. Completely at a loss was what to do with the rest of his life, Ron enlisted. Army life suited Ron. He quickly rose through the ranks, becoming a staff sergeant and a member of the Army's elite Special Forces unit known as the Airborne Rangers. During a mission where their entire squad was pinned down by a machine gun nest being picked off one at a time, Ron and another soldier earned a Bronze Star for taking out the nest. Later, during the war, Ron was gravely wounded by a landmine. He received the Purple Heart. He was sent to Germany, and while he was there he met his first wife, Gertie. He brought her back to the United States, got married, adopted her oldest daughter, Barbie, and they had 2 daughters together, Nicole and Colleen. Gertie became homesick for Germany. She didn't care for the United States. It was too different. So she packed up the kids and went to visit her mom, in Germany. But while she was there, she decided she didn't want to come back. So she decided to keep the kids in Germany with her. Ron sold everything he had to buy tickets to get there, and to fight for custody. But the German government refused to let him have custody, and he had to return to the United States, empty-handed and broken-hearted. He refused to give up hope, though. But having no means to return to Germany, he tried out for the United States Olympic weightlifting team. They were headed to Germany in 1972. And believe it or not, he actually won a spot as an alternate. During training, he was injured so severely when he dropped a 500-pound weight across his stomach that he lost his place. While he was recovering in a VA hospital in Kansas, he met Lori Vandeska. They soon married and had a baby boy, Ron Harold Jr. The baby suffered a birth defect and survived only 10 minutes after his birth. Ron and Lori were devastated, but determined to continue on. Despite overwhelming odds and many obstacles, they raised 8 healthy children and just celebrated their 38th wedding anniversary in September. Ron has been an inspiration to many people. 2 of his sons, one currently and the other is no longer in the military, but they both served. 2 of his son-in-laws have served, and a friend of the family, because he inspired them so much. He inspires everyone he meets. Being physically blind, disabled, and recently having a stroke hasn't hurt Ron's spirit and faith, and they're all stronger than ever. I'm giving this speech to honor my father, Ronald Harold Collins. I love you, Daddy.